Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today our next topic name is break-even models and its importance. This is our lecture number 18. Let me start our new topic, break-even models. This lecture basically contain on more than on theory, not on too much mathematical examples, in which just only for the sake of this time, this lecture I take only one example, and inshallah ta'ala we will end this chapter in our next lecture with some examples and questions regarding the break-even models and how we can implement this type of models in our businesses. It is a set of planning, tools which can be used, which can be and has been very useful in managing organizations. It is a set of planning tools which can be and has been very useful in managing organizations. How the organization can be managed, in which type, this model define those rules. One significant indication of the performance of the company, is reflected by so-called bottom line of the income statement. What he says, how he define this model define the significance. One significant indication of the performance of the company. One of the significance, that is the performance of the company. How he say the performance of the company, it is reflected by the so-called bottom line of the income statement. It is same as you are done in your accounting, in which you define different methods. First you prepare double entry, then you prepare ledgers, then double entry, then trial balance, then adjusted trial balance, and then worksheet, and then income statement and the balance sheet. In this way, this method also reflect the performance of the company by the so-called bottom line of the income statement of the firm, that show how much profit is earned, by the company. So in this regard, a break-even analysis focuses upon the profitability. Break-even analysis focuses upon the profitability of a firm, that how much a firm that can earn profit. So in this way, break-even identify the level of operation. Break-even identify the level of operation or level of output. The level of operation or the level of output that would result in zero profit. The level of operations or output is called break-even point. And you also know that in you see such type of name or the topic that you learn in your previous lectures. Break-even point represent that the level of operation at which total revenue equals total cost. You also know that break-even point, that is the break-even point. Break-even point represent that the level of operation at which total revenue equals total cost, or you say that the total profit is equal to zero. You say zero profit. The firm earn zero profit. So in this respect we have some assumptions. We will focus upon the situation in which both total cost function and total revenue function, total cost function and total revenue functions are linear. The first assumption is that both cost function and the revenue function both are linear. Number two, the total cost function implies that variable cost per unit either are constant or can be assumed to be constant. You kept in your mind that the total cost function implies that variable cost per unit either are constant or can be assumed to be constant. During one transaction or the production level, in the production of one thing, you cannot each and every time you cannot vary your cost value, variable cost value per unit. So in this way the function does not remain not linear. It not show its behavior in a linear function type. Number two, then the total cost function assumes that the total variable cost depends upon the level of operation. The total cost function assumed that the total variable cost depends upon the level of operations or output. Number third, it is also assumed that the total fixed cost operation of the cost function is constant. The total fixed cost operation of the cost function is constant over the level of operations or output. In this regard, one assumption is related with the total linear revenue. The total linear revenue function assumes that the selling price per unit is constant. The selling price per unit is constant. Then where the selling price is not constant, there we use the average price is sometimes chosen. Where the selling price is not constant, there we use the average price is sometimes chosen. And other assumptions is that the price per unit is greater than the variable cost per unit. And you see in your questions that if the selling price of output of the output unit, if it is less than the cost, then your firm will your firm will bear the loss. Your revenue, your selling price must be greater than the cost that has occurred on the different materials. So now we see examples here. A group of engineers is interested in forming a company to produce some detectors. They have developed a design and estimate that variable cost per unit, including material, labor and marketing cost. So you remember here, the variable cost is based on materials, labor and market cost. That is total $22.50 on each unit. Fixed cost associated with the formation of operation and management of the company. Fixed cost associated with the formation of operations and management of the company and the purchase of equipment and the machinery. So you kept in your mind that fixed cost is based on which things? The formation of operation and management of the company and the purchase of equipment and machinery, and its total worth is $250,000. They estimate the selling price will be $30 per detector. They estimate the selling price will be $30 per smoke detector. Its first part is determine the number of smoke detectors which must be sold in order for the firm to break even on venture. Determine the number of smoke detectors which must be sold in order for the firm to break even on the venture. You have to develop a revenue function, then you develop a cost function, then you find it, then you will be able to find the break-even model. So let me say X be the number of, it's our solution. Our solution begins from here. Let X be the number of smoke detectors produced and sold. Then the sale price of each smoke detector is $30, as you see in the above statement of the question statement. Smoke detector is $30, so revenue function is equal to 30 multiplied by X. The cost of each smoke detector is $30, so revenue is equal to selling price multiplied by the units is equal to Rx is equal to 30X. Since the total variable cost including materials, labor and marketing cost is $22.50 and the total fixed cost, you know what kind of material that they include, what kind of cost that they include in the fixed cost, you see in the question statement. So I am writing here just the total fixed cost value, that is $250,000. 250,000. Now here we develop a cost function, that is C of X is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost. Here total variable cost that is 22.50 into multiplied by units plus 250,000 the fixed cost. Main condition for the break even point is, what is the main condition for the break even point is, that is the revenue is equal to the cost function. The revenue function is equal to the cost function. So this implies that I am writing here the value of Rx here, that is 30X, and the value of cost function, that is 22.50X plus 250,000. When I subtract this 30,000 from when I subtract this 22.50X from 30X, that is equal to 7.50X is equal to 250,000. So X in this case is equal to 250,000 divided by 7.5. This is almost equal to 33,333.33 units. 33,333.33 units. If you want to ignore the points, you also ignored it. Alternative approach. We also know that the linear profit function, we also calculate this value of output units from this function. So P of X is equal to R of X minus C of X. This P of X represent the profit function. So I am writing here the value of R of X here and then the value of C of X here. After subtraction, it is equal to, after simplification, it is equal to 7.50X minus 250,000 to calculate the break even point or zero profit. So what we have to do, we have to put here P of X is equal to 0. We said P of X is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 7.50X minus 250,000. When we simplify this, we get 7.50x is equal to 2,50,000, and by division, by dividing 2,50,000 with 7.50, you get 33,333.33 units. Our answer is same. What kind of approach you want to apply, you may apply here. It's part number B. Determine the expected profit when the marketing data indicate that the firm can expect it to sell approximately 30,000 smoke detectors. 30,000 smoke detectors. With the sale price of 30,000 smoke detectors, we have the profit function. P of x is equal to 7.50x minus 2,50,000. So you substitute number of units, x represent the number of units, so you put x is equal to 30,000. When you substitute in the above equation, you get 2,25,000 minus 2,50,000. Its decline, it is equal to minus 25,000. So our profit, it is not our profit. In this case, when the firm produced 30,000 units, the firm will goes to bear a loss, because you see from the above statement that how much units a firm can produce to earn zero profit, that dot goes in the negative side. So it must produce 33,333.33 units if the firm will want to earn zero profit. If one unit is less than this amount, this quantity, then firm will bear. Here you see that how much units a company want to sell. It is 30,000. So clearly it is less than that amount of units. So in this case, firm will bear the loss. This indicates that the firm bear a loss of 25,000. Inshallah, we will meet in our next lecture with some other examples and questions. In this way, this lecture goes to end. I hope you will understand my lectures. In case of any difficulty, please ask pose your questions in your WhatsApp group, so that I will try my best to answer you. Take care. Till then, Allah Hafiz.